Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorial brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in with today's tutorial. This is going to explain how we can have several layers and change the colors of one layer, not affecting the other layer. So I'm going to use the smiley face for an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. This is layer number 1. So I'll right click up here and I'll duplicate just like that. Okay, so if I turn off the top layer, you can't tell the difference because the bottom layer is there. But if I turn the bottom layer off and I toggle the top layer, now you can see that it's just the top layer. Now, what that means is that if I pick the bottom layer and I change the color to blue with the paint bucket and I click here, you didn't see anything. Why not? Because the top layer is showing above the bottom layer. But if I toggle the top layer, now you'll see that the bottom layer is blue. You want a better example of that? Let's go ahead and take these faces and with the magic of elements make them into a 3D image. And now they're sideways and you can see it's a 3D image. This way I can actually take the bottom layer and pull it out. And now you can see the bottom layer underneath is still blue. So what happens is in the other tutorial, when I cut a face out, I took the top layer and I cut a hole in it. So if I take a hole and draw a nose in the top layer, let's say right around there, and I hit cut with delete, it turns blue. It didn't actually turn blue, but what you're seeing is the hole with the blue underneath from the bottom layer. So now if I grab the bottom layer and move it out of the way, you can see that's what you're really seeing, is the hole from the bottom layer as the nose. So if I were to change and pretend this is the girl's face in the previous tutorial, if I were to take the blue and go to Enhance, Color, Hue, Saturation, watch what happens. I'm changing the bottom layer blue. I'm going to change its hue and watch what happens to the nose along with the bottom layer. It's going to change colors to different colors. See that? So it turns into green, I could turn it into red, and whatever the bottom layer turns into, the nose itself will also change because it's a hole seeing right through to the bottom. And that's basically how it works. So now we have the bottom layer red. And that's why it looked like just the face was changing when I was changing the bottom. And let's say once I had the bottom layer the way I wanted it, come back to the top layer, now I can actually change just the top layer, leaving the bottom layer alone. I'll do the same thing. I'll go to Enhance, Color, Saturation. And now I can change the top layer, not affecting the nose. See that? I can change that to blue. And that's basically all there is to it. This is Rich calling it quits for this tutorial, saying over and out.